The Sports Renegades podcast on SportstownChicago.com. Welcome back to Sports Renegades here on SportstownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky, and this most likely will be our final segment.
Yep, this is our final segment. We're, on the air for another 10 minutes or so, I guess you could say. And, we're going to end off talking about the Bulls and the Blackhawks as well, since they both play in the same arena. Same center, I guess. The Bulls are 11-5 right now.
They don't feel like an 11-5 team.
No,
the thing is,
not at all.
I can't remember the last. It's just with the Bulls. It's just you look at the schedule now, and it's like, all right, well, I already know they're going to lose this game. There's no point in watching.
Yeah, sort of.
It's because of the inferior coaching of Fred Hoiberg that's the problem. It's like with Thibodeau. Even if teams were better than the Bulls, they could still easily win because of good coaching.
Sure.
And with Fred Hoiberg's motto of defense is optional,
that pretty much is what it is.
To me, that's what it looks like. It is. You already know that if Rose is out and they're playing a team like Golden State, they're not going to win.
The thing that I kind of love and hate at the same time is the Bulls are a much better team when Rose is off the floor. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Like they're a better team.
They're better when he's playing, except when he's not on the floor. When he's out, they're not good.
No, not at all. And they did have a nice win. I think that was Monday night against San Antonio. The thing that I like about the Bulls as far as defense, I understand that they really don't play defense until they have to. But when they do play defense, especially at the end of the games, they're always really good. Jimmy Butler's always coming up with a huge block like he did against Indiana.
Powell was really good the other day. The 26 points and 19 rebounds.
Yeah, Powell was good against San Antonio, and there was other people that did pretty good against the Spurs. And they locked down on defense in the final possessions.
That Spurs game, honestly, that was one of those games that I was like, they're going to lose this game. There's no reason to watch.
I thought they were going to lose too, but they held in. I think they went a whole 3 or 4 minutes without scoring a field goal at the end of that game. They only got a couple points from free throws. They still ended up winning, which is pretty impressive.
Oh, Bulls and their inconsistent offense.
The guy who's been playing really well is Doug McDermott. He's been playing really well the last few games, and that's encouraging and exciting to see that, hey, this guy is pretty good. And, we didn't, trade our draft pick and whatever to get him, for no reason. Like, he's actually a pretty good fit right now. He seems like a pretty good fit anyway, and he should be starting in a couple years.
Right, yeah, he should, and he could be a really good scorer in this league. And I think it'll be fun to watch him shoot when he develops more. Yeah,
I agree. Tony Snell's been bad recently. He's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Mirotic is missing all these sorts of shots.
Yeah, Mirotic, I'm just like, I really think you need to sit him on start Noah instead of Mirotic now, because it's actually getting very frustrating watching Mirotic play.
The problem is Noah's playing pretty good coming off the bench. If you start him, I hope he doesn't go back to his ways where he's turning the ball over and he's missing layups that he should be making. And
I don't know. I feel like Noah's going to get better. I feel like it'll be a confidence boost for him.
I hope he gets better, and I would be all for it if I can trust that he'll play well in a starting role, which he didn't last year. So I don't know.
He was injured the whole year.
But the year before that, he was one of the best players in the NBA, Defensive Player of the Year. He had 5 triple-doubles in a season, or 4 triple-doubles in 2013, 2014. So, it's hopefully it was just a down year last year, along with the injuries.
Yeah, right, yeah. You could tell he wasn't playing like himself last year, and he was a little too stubborn to sit out.
And he wasn't playing very well early this season, but he's playing really well now the last week or so. He's been playing better. Taj Gibson is continuing to be pretty darn good. Jimmy Butler, of course, is Jimmy Butler. He's pretty much the focal point of the offense, and Pau Gasol is continuing to do good. I heard something on the radio that Pau Gasol pretty much said that when his contract's up, he's going to test free agency, and he might come back to the Bulls, and he might not. Or he might retire. He doesn't know.
I don't see him retiring if teams will still offer him, $7 or $8 million a year.
Yeah, it depends.
Because he's playing at an elite level.
I think he was a rookie in 2002, so he's been playing for 15 years. And I don't know how old he was when he entered the league. He must have been young, like a 19 or 20-year-old when he came into the league.
He's been in the league since 2001.
Okay, the 01-02 season. He was with Memphis with Marc Gasol, right? Something like that.
No, he's older than Marc.
Oh, is he older than Marc Gasol?
Yeah, he's a lot older than Marc, because Marc just got a max contract from Memphis, and it was like a good contract because of his age and.
Yeah, I mean, I like both of them. They're both really good players. Pau Gasol sometimes is a little lazy on defense, but you never know.
Right. I mean, he can block shots though when you need him to.
Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors are 20-0, and it looks like I really feel like they're going to break the Bulls' record of 72-10 and 95-96. I really feel like it's going to happen this year.
You really do? I don't know. It's just like it's so
how
early.
First of all, they haven't lost a game yet. It's almost Christmas. I mean, we're like 3 weeks from Christmas, but they haven't lost a game yet. They're 20-0. They're already about a quarter of the way there.
Yeah, except, I mean, that's a lot of time for, like, someone to get injured or guys to start wearing down because, I mean, all these guys can't keep it up every game. Like
Steph Curry can, but
he's going to have a game where he's not shooting his best, and that they're going to be playing a team.
He hits every single open three. It's ridiculous.
That is true. He does hit
that's the goal. Obviously, as a basketball player, is to hit every single open shot.
Except
obviously, it doesn't happen.
It's not supposed to happen.
He's the only one that it actually happens. Like every single game, he's hitting a three, or he'll miss a three, and then the guy guarding him will go try to get the rebound. They'll get an offensive rebound, kick it back to Steph, and he never misses twice either. He'll always hit it the second time.
I mean, I just don't see it happening. I mean, who on their team has been injured so far? Nobody.
Well, that's true. If they have an injury, then sure, it's possible that they'll lose
someone's
going to
get injured at some point. Maybe someone will get, maybe like Thompson or Curry, maybe they'll get injured, get a little banged up and let them miss a game or two, and it could be a day that they're playing at someone like Oklahoma City. I mean, they almost lost to Utah.
They did almost lose to Utah, but Utah sort of lost that game for themselves after doing some horror. And again, they gave Steph Curry an open three at the end of that game. But I mean, last year the Warriors only lost 14 or 15 games. I think
they won 67.
Yeah, so I think it was like 15 or something that they lost. So they weren't that far off last year, and now being champions, starting off 20-0. If I had to put my money on it, I say they beat the Bulls record. I say that they beat the unbeatable record that nobody gave anyone a chance to beat. I
don't see it happening. I mean, even if I wasn't a Bulls fan, I just don't see it. I just don't think that. I think there's going to be games later in the year that are going to be closer, and I just don't think that they're going to have the size to get rebounds if someone isn't shooting their best.
Right, and frankly, I don't really care if they break the record or not. I mean, as a Bulls fan, you would think, why don't you want them to? Or it's like, why do you want them to break the record? It's not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it all matters about the championships. And the
right?
Bulls
If they don't, how funny would it be if they go like 80-2 and then they don't win the NBA championship?
Yeah, well, that's more likely. I mean, that's more likely than going 72-10 and being the NBA champion. I mean, the Bulls, I think that was the year that they beat the Supersonics in the finals, and I think the Supersonics gave them a pretty good battle. I think the Bulls won in 6 games. But, it doesn't really matter if they break the record or not. Like, I wouldn't be that mad as a Bulls fan. I'd be like, wow, they beat the record that the Bulls had. But it's not like it's an untouchable record and it's for Bulls fans only. I feel like that's what stupid Bulls fans think.
Yeah, I mean,
you know how they are.
I mean, it'd be nice if they don't break the record. Except at the same time, it's not like
it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Bulls went 81-1 and the Golden State's trying to go 82-0. Then it would be different,
right? I'm content as a Bulls fan with those 6 championships in the '90s. I mean, if somebody breaks the 72-10, I mean that's okay. We still had the 6 championships in 8 years. I think we're pretty, I
could
think
have been 8 out of 8 if Jordan didn't retire.
It would have been 8 out of 8. They would have beaten the Rockets 2 years in a row instead of having the Rockets win. I think the Rockets beat the Knicks and the Magic in 94 and 95.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the number 1 overall pick in Michael Jordan's draft, won 2 championships, and they were when Michael Jordan wasn't playing.
Exactly. I mean, no doubt in my mind that the Bulls would have won 8-0. That they would have won from 91 all the way to 98 consistently. I mean, no doubt.
Right. I mean, they probably would have, and whatever. We got 6 championships, and I don't know when the next one's coming. I don't see it happening while Fred Hoiberg is coaching.
1, it's not happening probably when Steph Curry's in the league, and 2, it's not happening when LeBron's in your same in your same conference.
And while Fred Hoiberg is coaching.
So there's a lot of things that aren't pointing the right way. Either way, they'll be top 3, 4 seed in the East and another second-round exit probably.
Yeah, to LeBron.
Before we get out of here, what's the Hawks score? Hopefully they scored.
It was 2-0 in the first intermission.
Oh, okay.
Up 2-1 now.
2. Okay, good.
Kane scored.
Oh, of course he did. Who else?
Assisted by Keith and Panarin.
Nice. So now he has that record, right?
I think he did. I don't know. It's 21 games. All I know is that's really good.
All I know is that it just won't stop, and he's just gonna keep going and going. And I think we've kind of forgotten about the turmoil he was in before the season started. Right? I feel like everyone forgot about that. Of course, the charges were dropped.
The funny thing is when something like that usually happens, the player doesn't come out playing like at an elite level like that. Usually their mind is somewhere else, where Patrick Kane's mind is on hockey.
Yeah, well, and that's what it's got to be on, and I'm glad it is on hockey. I mean, look at this big streak he has. I think everyone's kind of forgotten about that whole Patrick Kane scandal that never really came to fruition. But obviously people forgot about it, so that's a good sign, for the Blackhawks that, Patrick Kane is playing at an extremely high level. He's the best American-born player in hockey right now, I would say.
Probably.
I can't really think of somebody that really rivals him that much who's American-born anyway. There's some Canadian-born guys that are just as good, like Taves even, but yeah. All right. That's going to do it for us tonight on the Sports Renegades here on SportsTownChicago.com. We hope you join us next week. We will have hopefully a Bears win to talk about.
Hopefully the Bears can beat Blaine Gabbert.
I would hope so. They can beat Blaine Gabbert and the pretty bad 49ers, although they do have, I think, 3 wins, maybe even 4 wins. They're playing better than I thought they would have late, but we'll still be able to beat them, no doubt. So
probably.
I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky.
And we will see you next week. Have a good night. The Sports Renegades podcast on SportsTownChicago.com.